like to call the Richmond Park and Recreation Board to order. I will now read the mission statement. The Richmond Parks and Recreation Department provides for the positive development and well-being of the Richmond community through the provision of parks, greenways, trails, and recreational programming and facilities while working in cooperation with other service providers and partners in the community to maximize all available resources. Special guests today.
Yes, we have one particular special guest I would like to announce first, and that is our Employee of the Month. If you would join us up here, please.
So uncomfortable. I like under rocks.
Okay, so Ms. Becky here, you know her as our Senior Recreation Center Coordinator. And she was nominated not once, not twice, but 3 times this month. And so I just want to read those real quick. She is awesome at what she does at the Senior Center. She is always kind, thoughtful, has a cheery disposition. We all love her. Becky is always so kind, respectful, and thoughtful. She always listens to people when they have hard times and is always going above and beyond to give advice and solutions to help with life struggles. She's so very appreciated. Becky goes above and beyond for everyone she comes in contact with. She volunteers her time to help with events at the Senior Center, has just to make sure they can happen. She makes sure that the staff is always taken care of. Even when it's not her responsibility, she's constantly coming up with new ideas to include as many different groups as possible in the Senior Center as she can. Becky's one of the most selfless employees that I've met. I was at the Senior Center donating blood. Becky saw from her office I was nervous. She brought me a smooth rock to rub through my fingers to calm my nerves. So she's always trying to go above and beyond. And then when we have our Employee of the Month, we ask them a questionnaire. And Becky, you've been with the Senior Center for how long?
Like a year and a half now.
Yes, so her first day was June 12th. You know what her role is, and she said what she likes best about her job are the members and the staff that she gets to work beside. And just the park team for all the departments are a bonus for her. And so her favorite park, you want to tell them what your favorite park is?
I don't have a favorite park because I have memories from all of them.
Yes.
Either growing up here or when I brought my kids back to visit and come in town. We utilized all the parks.
And if she had to plan a perfect day on the job, what would it be? She said, most of my days here at Richmond Senior Recreation Center are perfect, even when they're imperfect. She said, I love participating in our classes, especially as I choose to sit in the back and get the blessings of watching the many members and guests participating, interacting, and creating a wellness community within these shared activities. I get to see smiles and thinking brains and history calling upon its experience and creativity. Live and in the moment. What could be a more perfect day? That's Becky.
Wow, it's very Becky.
Yes. Now, if you had one wish, what would that wish be? Why don't you tell them about your wish?
I'd like to do a Chautauqua here in the parks like they used to have years ago, because if we did that, we could create something where every organization, nonprofit, came together, explained what they did, but in a way that was a hands-on, creative, historic relevance to why the parks are important to us and how they played a role all these years. And there's so much wealth of history here. And a Chautauqua really encompasses wellness in every area of our world. And I think it would be great. Every time I pass down here, it's like, oh, Chautauqua, here we go. We need to do this. So that would be my dream project. And I like the word Chautauqua because when I told people at the center what I would like to do someday, they're like, well, why do you just call it a history thing or an art thing? I said, because when you say that, people already put it in a box because they know what that is. But if you say Chautauqua, they have to think, oh, what is that? What does it mean? What is it for? So now I've already grabbed their attention. So even if they reject it, they picked up a new concept. And they might actually participate too. So, yeah. There it is, my dream.
Will you let them know also how many new members we have since your arrival?
We do. I probably should. We added up, and I'm going to get it out of my brain. We had 200 and I think we're up to 270 now in December that are brand new since I came. And we've had over 600 some renew. And I just sent out renewals, and several people reminded me as I just got them sent out, they came in yesterday to renew. So
we're booming over there, so. Thanks to Becky, and she's very deserving of this Employee of the Month, so thank you, Becky.
Thank you.
It's very humbling, and I will do Chicago before I retire.
And then I have four more other special guests that I'd like to call my, our gorgeous team. And so I just want to introduce them. If they'll stand up when I call their name. So I've got Katie from MKSK. And so we've got Katie, and we've got Maria, and we've got Jake. Jake's a Richmond native, so we're pretty pumped that he's on the team. And then we've got Isaac. So Maria, Jake, and Isaac are all from TSW, and so design group. So we're really happy to have this team who brings it all together. They brought me some beautiful design elements for Phase 3 today. We got to go over those while they're in town. Obviously going over the bids today too. So they've been wonderful to work with, and so we just appreciate all of your help and your enthusiasm on this project. That's why I call them the gorgeous team. So thank you for everything.
Thank you.
Any other special guests?
Not at this time, just the wonderful contractors who did.
All right. Next up, we have to amend the agenda to include items in new business G, addendum to contract 185-2024, and H, new membership and check-in offer at HLGC.
So moved.
It's been moved and second to amend the agenda. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. On to the approval of minutes. Have folks had a chance to look at the November 14th minutes? If so, I'll entertain a motion for approval.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and second for the approval of November 14th minutes. All in favor, say aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Next up, we have the opening of the annual contract bids, and we'll take on the advisement to award if able for new business.
I'm going to call Emma up today to open the annual contract bids. These are the annual ones that we do every year for obviously our electrical contractor, mechanical contractor, plumbing contractor, and HVAC contractor. And so these are sent out early in December, and we ask that they come back before this meeting, obviously. The deadline was the 18th, and so she'll open up these and say who they're from, and then her and Jim will take those under advisement, and hopefully we'll be able to award at the end of the meeting.
So I sent out packets on November 22nd with the deadline December 18th by 5 p.m. So I will start with our HVAC. We got 2 responses. I have,
And you will also get a form with all the information on it to make your decisions and recommendations.
okay, so for HVAC, I've got, the ones I got responses from were North Mechanical and Wallace Heating and Air, so I will open those. North Mechanical, we received December 6th at 3 p.m. via email. Okay, so all of our bids this year are work up to $10,000 this year to avoid having to come back to fire court for addendums mid-year. Because we found with inflation and everything, the cost of everything going up, to avoid having to come back and delay work and everything, we're just going to start the year off at $10,000. Hope we don't have to reach it, but be prepared for it. So all of the bid requests were up to $10,000 this year instead of $5,000 like usual. Okay, so
North Mechanical.
North Mechanical. North Mechanical Services at 2627 North Emerson Avenue. That's their mailing address. I don't have their physical address on here because they emailed it to me, but I can get it for the awards. Let's see there. regular hourly labor rate per hour is $120. Minimum hours, if any, is non-applicable. Overly hourly labor rate, 1 hour, 160. Material markup is 30%. So that's not cancelable. And then for HVAC, we also received Wallace on December 11th at 8:49 a.m. Their hourly labor rate per hour, $100 service call includes a half hour, $1.50 after first half hour. No minimum hours. Overtime hourly rate is $150 for every 2 1/4 after hours, and $200 every 3 hours on a holiday. They did not put a material markup. So we're going to HVAC that both met the deadline. Next we have plumbing. I got 2 back for plumbing. I've got Reynolds, that I got their response on 12/6, and I got DB Plumbing. I got their response back today via email, so theirs was after the deadline. So I'm gonna leave it up to Park Board to see, after we get their consideration with everything in and bids, if, I'll take your recommendation on approval with all factors in. So I'm going to open Reynolds first. And they were on December 6th at 11:16 a.m. Their hourly rate per hour is $80, no minimum hours. Overtime hourly rate is $120. And they did not include a material markup. I've got DB Plumbing, which was today at 12:51, and theirs I received via email. Hourly labor per hour is $75. No minimum hours. Plumbing overtime per hour is $112.50 with a material markup of 3%. On the 18th, so I will open. There's Carroll Electric today at 9:20 a.m. on December 19th. Regular hourly rate per hour is $68 with no minimum hours. Overtime hourly labor rate is $84 and material markup is 20%. And that was another one that was received today, so that will go into the consideration when we decide for your recommendation. The next electric is Hill Electric. Received December 18th at 9 a.m. Hill has regular hourly rate per hour is $75. There is no minimum hours. Overtime hourly rate per hour is $112.50. And Material markup is 27%. So those are the two electric bids that we received, and we received one mechanical, and that is specialized mechanical. We received on December 17th at 1:46 p.m. Their hourly rate per hour is $98. Minimum hours of 1 hour. Overtime hourly rate per hour is $150, and material markup is 35%. And I will go, without those, I will create a sheet for everybody, for your recommendations, and follow the, quotes on them, and
What is the pleasure of the board on those bids that came in past the deadline? Would you like them to be taken into consideration?
I would suggest putting them on the form and then marking them with an asterisk to let us know that they were there,
Okay.
so we can consider it when we consider the final approvals.
Okay. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Moving on. Next up, we have the acceptance of proof of publication of bid Whitewater Gorge Test Road Trailer.
Here are the proof of publications of the bid for the Whitewater Gorge Test Road Trailhead. You also see those there. This is just something that you'll need to approve, that you see that we did do a proof of publication. And I'm passing those around, but you did have those in your agenda, so that you can see that it did get publicized.
All right. Take a, entertain a motion for approval.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded for the acceptance of the proof of publication of the bid for Whitewater Gorge Test Road Trailhead. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Next is the opening of the Whitewater Gorge Test Road Trailhead bids.
So we received 3, and we are very excited. I just want to thank those contractors who did work very hard on these bids. I know it's not easy to come up with these bids, especially the specifications that we had, and the land and water specifications that definitely go into these kinds of things. So we have 3 bids here. The first bid I'm going to open is from R.L. Turner, and we'll open that.
What was the name of that company again?
R.L. Turner. Okay, so in the bid summary, we've got a base bid of $1,257,186.32. We've got a bid alternate of $604,964, and that's for bid alternate 1. Bid alternate 2, $112,044.62, with a total bid amount of $1,974,195.45. This is R.L. Turner Corporation, located at 1000 West Oak Street, and that is located in Zionsville, Indiana, 46077.
What was the total again, please?
The total bid amount is $1,974,195.45, and that's including the 2 alternates. Thank you, R.L. Turner, for bidding. second bid is from Thor Construction. There's four bids, sorry. Then it's, it wasn't stamped. Figured out where I'm at. Base bid is $1,029,480.08. Bid alternate number one, $407,265,032. And bid alternate number two, $35,600. And this is from Thor Construction Company located at 1111 Northwest T Street. And that is located here in Richmond, Indiana, 47374.
What was the total amount?
Yeah.
Can't do math that fast, sorry.
I don't believe they wrote it down.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not provided as.
Right.
Okay.
I can
Yeah, we'll get it
do
later.
it later, yeah. Thank you for bidding for construction. The third bid is from Morphe Construction.
From who?
Morphe Construction.
MORPHEY.
Thank you.
Base bid from Morphe Construction is $1,268,000. The bid alternate number one is $677,000, and bid alternate number two is $142,000. Total bid amount is $2,087,000. And Morphe Construction is located at 1499 North Sherman Drive, Indianapolis, Indiana, 46201. This is just finance statement. Thank you, Morphe Construction, for bidding. Those are the three bids that we have at this time. And we will take those under advisement and review those as necessary. And we'll keep rolling.
All right. Moving on to administration report, Denise.
Yes, I just wanted to highlight that we've been doing some digging on phase 3 today and going through some of the design concepts for phase 3, and so that's been fun. Obviously, I don't want to take up too much time. This is a long meeting, but we have a lot going on getting finalized for the end of the year. And the team has just done a really great job for the entire year. I want to thank them for all their hard work. I also want to thank all of you for serving for the entire year. This has been an exciting year, and next year is going to be even more exciting. So lots going on, and just want to say thank you. So that's the gist of my report, unless there's any questions.
Looks like there's not. That's what we have. Division reports, obviously financials, he's a little busy. So I guess, Becky, do you have anything to talk about senior center real quick?
Just really fast.
That's fine.
Sorry. Sorry, I'm back again.
Don't apologize.
We had a
really good November and a great December. We've started our field trips. And part of that's thanks to the Wayne County Foundation giving us such a great support of their grant. But we went to the Gar Mansion, or Gar Museum, because we heard that they were in danger of closing, and that's just not acceptable to us. So we signed up and had a bunch of people go out, and we have more people that want to go, and they've all talked about it. And so we've kind of made it our little mission to adopt that and see if we can keep that open. We also had a band come. I've never had a band come to the senior center before, but it was the Kings Road Band, and it was fabulous. And it was interesting to watch people there that are not used to it, because some people sat in our little lobby outside in a circle and observed them and tapped their feet, and others went in the gym and really tapped their feet, so that was kind of fun. I'm doing a lot of Dementia Live now, which I got certified for through live stream, and that's been a real eye-opener to people that are caretakers of people with dementia. But the part I like even better are the younger groups coming in and seeing how it really affects your brain, and it's been really good. So I'm glad we're doing that, and we've added memory tests too now for people to do. And like I said, our membership was just, at a measly 100, what did I say, 200, and I think it was 49 when I wrote this, but since then we had more people do it, so we've added like 21 more members, and so that's good. Marcia Sloan came from the Genealogical Society. That was way cool, so now we're all, I don't know, gonna look up our ancestors and find out what's up with them. And we had volunteers come from Three Rivers and the cheerleaders from Richmond High School. That was so cool. They helped organize things and donated time, and that was fun to be able to show them a new concept of senior, because everybody went away and said, wow, you guys are not what we thought, so that's kind of nice. And I just wanted to say, we also, even though it was in December, we planned it in November, we went to Richmond Civic Theater last week, and even with the snow that I had not planned on happening, and late at night, we still had 50 people attend, and 32 people had never been to that theater before. And so it was really nice to take them to see it. And now this week, we have volunteers going back there to be volunteers for this Saturday. So it worked out just how we hoped, so it was good. So we have more field trips coming up and a lot of things planned, and we're ultra busy. And you're all invited. We have a party on Monday, this coming Monday. We have the Dulcimers playing the Sweet Sounds of the Star Valley at 1 o'clock, and we have cake and ice cream and a charcuterie board. So it should be fun. It's at 1, so you're welcome to come check us out. So, and according to my grandson, we have the best popcorn anywhere, so please come try that.
I will.
Yeah. Thank you very much. It's a privilege to be at the center. I love it, so thank you.
Thank you. Other divisions that would like to speak?
Yes.
Or you-
Chris, you want to tell them about Celebration Lights and and Frostbite?
So we are wrapping up the year. It's been a busy year, but a really good year. We held the Rosemary Bible Frostbite 5K.
Thank you.
Held the Rosemary Bible Frostbite 5K on December 7th. And we had really good turnout for that. We increased our registrations by almost 40 people from last year. We registered about 45 people day of, which was up from last year as well. I think the weather, some people were kind of maybe waiting to see what the weather was going to do. And a little cold snap right there a couple days before the race, but ended up, it was in the 50, I think it was close to 50 degrees out. It was nice. We had really good weather, really good turnout, and the race went great leading into the celebration of lights. So we had some performers. They had, I don't know which choir it was off the top of my head.
Choir.
Test, thank you. Choir performed, Richmond High School percussion line performed. They also performed during the race. We started that last year. We put them at about the halfway point just to play some cadences, and the runners love it. It's kind of that moment of rejuvenation when they're tired and about halfway through the race. And but all in all, really great attendance and excited. We already got a date on the books for next year. So
And I don't know if you saw the gingerbread land out there, but Amber, our receptionist, did a phenomenal job in creating, and we had gingerbread everywhere, and also Primex. They were spectacular at helping us get the gingerbread land
Yeah.
for all of our.
And that's going to
celebration
get
events.
used again this weekend at the Farmers Market Holiday Festival. We're going to turn it into Candy Cane Lane and reuse those decorations down there at Star Jeanette. So it'll be a lot of fun. We've got the Santa coming on Saturday. We've got cookies from about 10 of our bakery vendors. So we're going to do cookies with Santa, hot chocolate. It'll be really fun if you guys have time to pop out. It'll be a really, really good market. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, moving on to any board concerns or comments? All right. Delegation correspondence, we need an appointment of 2 board members to the golf subcommittee.
Yes, so I thought this might be a good time to really dive into a good fresh start for golf at Highland. And I thought maybe we could think about having 2 people from the board sit on maybe a subcommittee with the business manager, Wes, myself, potentially bringing a member in at some point or 2, but just kind of talk about revenue regeneration, what that looks like, maybe some of the issues that we're having over at Highland, how we can solve some of those, some of the, the older things that need some recommitment, irrigation, some of that kind of things, and what that looks like. And I think that instead of coming to the entire board at all times, maybe a subcommittee might be more of what we should be looking at, and for them to give the recommendations back to the board for some of that. And then they can meet separately when that's necessary. So that was my idea going forward. I would like to pitch to the board to have 2 people sit on that. If anybody's willing, that would be something I think we could start, right at the first of the year, move forward with some good planning and execution to really make Highland great. We just met with the chemical specialist again, and she has some good ideas for really pinpointing the spraying techniques and the right times, the right, exact days. It's been left open-ended on other years, and so I think we have some challenges and that we need to overcome, and I think that's something that we can do in a smaller committee.
All right, you're not interested, can't be me.
So this is something that Denise and I have talked about previously, and I've spoken with Mayor Oler and some council members and some members about Highland Lake and the future of it. And I think this sort of dedicated group is going to be important for the future success of the golf course. So as such, I think I would be willing to be a part of that group.
Dakota, all right, and put you down. Yeah.
I'll volunteer also.
There you go, there's your 2.
I appreciate that.
Thank you all for volunteering.
I appreciate that.
Can I have more of it?
I can't do it, so.
I just think that we can work towards a better plan of action and move forward in a better way. But yeah, I think that we have some work to do, and it's going to take a little bit of it's going to take some challenges, but I think that we can come out ahead. Wes has got some good ideas. He's been working through some transitional plans, and I think that this committee can really look at some of those things and iron out some things. So thank you for your support on that.
All right, some special presentation?
Yes, so I would like to first and foremost thank Tiana for all of your service that you have done and the time that you've spent on the board. We have a special presentation for you.
Whoa,
Yeah, we've got a plaque for you.
wow, fancy.
Yes, thank you so much for everything. This is Tiana's last board meeting,
Yes, it is.
and so we appreciate her and her time, and just wanted to tell her thank you, and help me give her a round of applause. But I mean, she is also served as president and ran these meetings like a champ. I mean, they're smooth sailing, continues to, work through them and keep them going, smooth and quick and easy. And so I know she really cares about the park, and we will get her involved in some fashion if she's willing. And so I do appreciate her time, and I know we all do. So thank you for everything.
Thank
you.
you.
Anything you want to say?
Well, I've been on this board for a while, and this frees up time. 2 boards I'm coming off, so down to I think 4 boards now that I'm on, so that's great. I really do enjoy, seeing the advancement of our parks since being on this board, to see the activities, the maintenance, just overall better quality of life for our residents. So I hope that continues while I'm gone. Obviously, I drive past every day, so I will always keep monitoring for sure. But in the end, I am looking forward to this guest retirement from the board. And whoever is coming in next, hope they do a good job, and y'all continue to get fight. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
The other thing I just wanted to announce, if you haven't heard, that the Wayne County Foundation did receive the Lily Gift 8 money, and we are a recipient of those funds. And we just wanted to thank the Wayne County Foundation for their leadership role in securing those funds, and also allowing us to be a recipient and to really be a champion, and wanting the Gorge to really just continue forward in momentum. So we're really excited about that. They received $5 million. We will get a big chunk of that, and so will Cambridge City for their wonderful project. So I just wanted to make sure that the board was aware, and that we did thank the Wayne County Foundation publicly. There'll be some information in the paper about it. I know they've done also a press release that we've been sharing. So this is exciting for our community. There's so many wonderful things happening with Revitalize Richmond, and now Lily Gift 8, and with now the bids that came through, and we're starting to see some stuff happening. So yeah, really cool stuff. So I just want to make sure that we highlighted that.
Nothing else? I don't see anything in old business, so moving on to new business. First up is the approval of addendum number 2 to contract 57-2024.
So this approval of addendum 2 might look a little different than some of your other addendums that you've seen. This actually is a twofold approach. So this addendum is not only going to the it's not only attaching to the contract 57 to include construction inspection that we will need for the bids that you just saw. It is going to be construction inspection up to $200,000, but it also it has all the federal provisions that we need in this particular contract added, so that we can receive the $200,000 from the ARPA funds to move over to be able to utilize. So those needed to be added to the actual contract as well. So it can be added to this addendum to do that. So all those ARPA funds need to be spent by the end of this year as well. So this kind of takes on that role as well. I hope that makes sense. So it's just a little different addendum than you've seen before. So it's got a lot more federal information and a lot more legal things in there than you've seen. So I wanted to describe why.
Okay, any questions or comments from the board? If not, entertain a motion for approval.
Make a motion to approve addendum number 2 to contract 57-2024.
Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and second for the approval of addendum number 2 to contract 57-2024. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Next on the agenda is the approval to apply for the Kiwanis grant.
Yes, so this is the grant that, we normally are able to apply for grants that the council approves. So we have a blanket that we request at the beginning of the year to apply for grants. And council is usually the body that grants that. We also pass that through through the board and say, these are the grants that we intend to apply for. So that's usually something that you approve through the year. However, the Kiwanis like to see that in minutes, and say that you've actually approved the Kiwanis grant as one grant that you have approved, and you know that we are applying for that. It's something that we add with our grant when we apply. So they will have a copy of the minutes along with the grant. Tiana's already signed off on it, so we could go ahead and apply for it for the deadline, but then they're just waiting for the minutes for the board to approve, so we can also submit those. They were waiting for the meeting.
Okay, any questions or comments? If not, entertain a motion for approval.
So moved.
It's been moved, is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and second for the approval to apply for the Kiwanis grant. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Next up is the approval of the 2025 electrical contractor.
So I'd like to bring Emma and Jim back up here, and they have copies of their recommendations, I presume.
So we left the two that were late, or left them without our recommendation because we were conflicted and needed to see what the board's recommendation was as well, so that we could come to a consensus and see how to approach, because there's they're different in the way that they come across. So I'll give you guys a second to kind of look over and see.
So basically, one is lower and the other one is not.
Yes.
So
And then the check marks are,
those were our recommendations, just because those are the ones that were the lower end, so we'll, don't we go over them?
The asterisk is,
Those are the ones that were late.
we're late, okay.
They were turned in today on the 19th, and when the requests were mailed out, the deadline was the 18th at 5.
Okay, let's start with electrical. So this includes a vendor that turned in late.
which is the asterisk.
Yep. So as a board, we need to make a decision if we're going to consider them or not. Okay,
Especially given that they're the lowest.
right. So what is the board's thoughts on this?
Were they one day late, is that what?
Yeah, both of them are 1 day late, yeah.
It's pretty hard to turn down.
The electrical.
I mean, there's a significant difference there.
That's what our recommendation was as well.
So despite them being late, you still want to go with Carroll Electric? Is that what I'm hearing? Okay, other thoughts? Yeah.
That'd be my vote, yeah.
Okay, that's what I said. Other thoughts?
I do worry in general about accepting late bids and setting a precedent.
Yeah.
Where's the line?
Yeah.
One day later.
You know, I understand.
Yeah. I mean, 1 day later can turn into 2 days later, and I mean, luckily we had the board meeting today, but we're also in a budget crunch.
That's why we came to the board for that one, because we're like,
Catherine, do you have thoughts?
I agree with Dakota on the precedents, unless she plays a statement going forward that no more than, X number of hours beyond bid will be accepted if it comes in lower. And more competitive going forward. but there was a deadline.
So my concern is we accept this, what happens if someone brings a whitewater gorge bid tomorrow?
Correct. That's lower.
What do you,
The hourly rate's not terribly far off. The markup and the overtime, right?
Okay,
and I think that, obviously, the difference is we publicize the gorge. We don't publicize the contractual bids. I understand there is a difference, there's a main difference. We can get legal's take on it if you'd like, and see if they feel that it is acceptable as a contract vendor to grant a day late. If you want us to, we can get their take on it.
Is it before
Have we had done business with Hill before?
2 years ago, they were a contract vendor.
And then last year was Carol.
What's the administration's take on the higher bid and how it plays into the budget? Are we worried about those amounts?
I mean, usually when they're needed, a lot of times it comes to after hours, but the markup is a little,
How about from a service standpoint in terms of reaction time and quality of work?
They're both have been great to work with.
And you asked them for bids, right? I mean, it wasn't just out of the blue that,
No, this is
No,
an
they-
annual request,
they
and
were-
Emma
yeah.
also contacted them this week and asked them.
it says mail packets to
Okay.
potential vendors November 22nd.
there you go.
And
It's December 19th.
she calls and reminds.
I called them all earlier this week to make sure they received the packets, because that was an issue before, not last year, but the year before, where they said that they hadn't received the packet, certain vendors, and so they should have called and make sure they received it, so they still have a couple days to get them in.
As frustrating as it is, I think we have to go with Hill Electric and make a motion to that end.
I've heard a motion to approve Hill Electric as our electrical vendor. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and second for Hill Electric to be our electrical vendor for 2025. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
No.
I believe the ayes have the vote. 3-1. Okay, next up, I guess, is mechanical contractor.
Mechanical, we just have the one. What specialized mechanical?
Any questions or comments on this one? If not, I'll entertain a motion for approval.
So moved.
It's been moved, is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and second to approve Specialized Mechanical as our mechanical contractor for 2025. All in favor, say aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Next up is the approval of the plumbing contractor. So this one also has a vendor that turned in a day late.
So with that same precedent, then it'll go to the one that was on time, is that correct?
We still have to vote, and I'll make a motion to award the bid to Reynolds Plumbing.
There's been a motion for approval for Reynolds Plumbing. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and second to approve Reynolds Plumbing as our 2025 plumbing contractor. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed?
No.
The ayes carry it 3-1. And we have our HVAC contractor. Any questions, comments? If not, I'll entertain a motion for approval.
So moved.
Second.
Are we going with the parks recommendation?
Yes.
Okay.
I should clarify that.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Just
Yes.
making sure.
For Wallace Heating.
All right, so it looks like it's been moved and second for Wallace Heating and Air for the 2025 HVAC contractor. Those in favor, please say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Anything else regarding this? We're good? Okay. Next up, we have the approval of addendum number 1 to contract 185-2024 for Wilson Outdoor Solution in the amount of $1,665.
This was the airification, and it was the overage of the contract, 185, 2024, that we did now. An addendum just has to be done to cover the overage for what was proposed. And so in order to pay the rest of the bill, we have to have an addendum to cover that.
Okay. Any questions or comments? If not, I'll entertain a motion for approval.
So moved.
It's been moved. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and second for the approval of addendum number 1 to contract 185-2024 for the Wilson Outdoor Solutions in the amount of $1,665. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Next up is the approval of new membership COR procedure offered for HLGC.
So, like I said before, Wes is trying to come up with creative ways to bring in new revenue and also try to leverage revenue. And so, since the board oversees this particular non-reverting fund, I wanted to bring this to you today. This is a new membership that he would like to offer starting in 2025. And this membership is valid for weekday play, Monday through Friday only, and it includes parties. This will not include any outings or tournaments or weekend play at all. So members must pay those applicable fees for the outing, tournament, or even weekend rates. So this is just a weekday membership. So those people who just come and play weekdays and they are not a weekend player, then this is going to be perfect for them. And it's going to be $1,000. So it'll help some people's budget as well. And so we hope to get some additional people out of this. So I think it's a real creative strategy, and we hope to go ahead and start marketing this with your approval. The next one that we can talk about, and we can approve them together, or we can approve that one and go on. It's up to you, pleasure of the board.
So if there's a tournament during the middle of the week, they have to pay whatever applicable rates are for that tournament?
Correct. If they want to play in that tournament.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm sorry, what's the other one?
Okay, so the other one is a City of Richmond employee rate change. So,
Oh, I see. I understand this paper now. I thought it was all one thing.
no.
Gotcha.
So this is the second one. So just so you know, we have had a couple of concerns with City of Richmond employees coming to play. They've always received a discount. And some people say that they're City of Richmond employees and maybe they're not. So we're coming up with a procedure. And so we just wanted to come to you and let you know what the procedure will be starting in 2025, so we can have a set procedure and how much it's going to be for their perk as being a City of Richmond employee. And this is how we'd like to move forward. And so we just wanted to bring it to the board's attention that this is how we're going to move forward. They'll have to check in. They will have to they'll have to sign a book at the check-in counter. We may or may not contact their supervisor. Only employees who are current employees of the city of Richmond are eligible. They will not be eligible if they've retired from the city of Richmond. And there's not a lifetime discount or anything like that. And we'll do our best to kind of communicate this citywide, but we will also do our best to fit them into the daily tea sheet, but they really need to go ahead and request a tea time. 18 holes will be $10, 9 holes will be $7. But this is a change for some people that are not used to it. So I'm just bringing this to the board's attention.
So the prices have not changed?
Not necessarily. Some people are not used to paying this.
But they should have been paying this.
Okay. So this doesn't actually, you're bringing it to our attention, but it doesn't require approval?
I would like for approval from the board for both options. Just so it's to your attention, your approval, this is the park board's decision going forward of what we're going to do, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I have a question on the, back to the first one.
Okay.
If we're gonna have a special rate for week
Day
play, how is that gonna affect the income of, let's say, existing guys that play all the time anyway? I mean, you've got a group of guys that come in 3 or 4 days a week now, and they're paying whatever the rates are. Are they gonna be allowed to go back to go down to this rate?
They can get whatever membership is that they would like to accommodate them.
So you're gonna basically reduce the income.
Hopefully not. Hopefully we're gonna gain more people. I mean, that's the goal. So, they'd have to pay more during the weekend if they want to come play. So
During the week?
during the weekend. So if they're gonna come, if they think that they're gonna play on the weekend with anyone, then they'll wanna get their regular membership.
What is that? The fee?
I don't have it off the top of my head, but I wanna say it's 13 for senior. I mean, there's gonna be varied, right? So there's junior, senior.
13 for the,
Right, I mean,
whenever you want.
there's so many different variations. So I can't just come up with those, but I can send that to you if you want it. But it depends on your age, it depends on, what category you're in. But depending on if you want to play it on the weekends, you would want to still have your regular annual membership. But if you're only gonna play on the weekdays and you know you're only gonna pay on the weekdays, then play on the weekdays, you're gonna pay for this membership, and it's gonna be hopefully a bonus. Then we'll hopefully get more play from people who might just wanna play at Highland during the week and maybe play at the Elks during the weekend, or Forest Hills during the weekend. That's what we're hoping for. Maybe gain a little bit more play.
Good.
That's what we're hoping for, because this is a really good deal. And, if somebody has this weekday play and they want to come and play on the weekends, we're going to be gaining money, right? Because they're going to have to pay the weekend rate. If they're going to play in a tournament, they're going to pay the tournament rate.
But if they only do that once or 2 or 3 times this summer, okay, I don't know that you're gonna gain that much. That would be my
Yeah.
concern.
Yeah.
Okay.
Other questions, comments?
How are you planning on marketing the weekday membership?
That's up to Wes. He's gonna put it all, obviously, all over T-Snap, like he does his normal pushes. We'll put it on our Facebook and our social media. We'll try to put out some ads in Western Wayne. I mean, we'll do some of those things. Obviously, it's gonna go out to our regular members. We've been selling a ton of memberships already, so without this, people know that they need to get their membership already. We'll do an early bird, like we normally do, where there's an early bird membership for 2025 for the regular membership, and then it'll go up after February 1st is normally what we do, or March 1st, whatever he decides. But there's always an early bird where we try to get a blast of memberships quickly. But this one will always be the same amount. So it's just gonna be a regular marketing strategy that we do, just like our others. It's just trying to be creative and garner more members in a different way.
So I think that's great, and I like creative, out-of-the-box thinking. I understand Mike's thoughts too. I think, and this might be something that the subcommittee will need to talk about,
Yeah,
but I think it
we
would
can
be
table
worth trying it and then doing some analysis in a year to see how many members we got, if they were existing members before, and really figuring out truly if we actually made any money off of it to determine if we're going to continue it. So I would almost frame it as a pilot program, just to see.
So are you wanting to table this so that the subcommittee can work on this, or you want to allow Wes to try this out?
That might not be a bad idea.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Can we refer it to the subcommittee?
Actually, why not? Are you making a motion to refer it?
Yes, so moved.
Second.
All right, it's been moved and second to refer this approval of the new membership to the golf subcommittee.
And are we comfortable with just moving forward with the City of Richmond employee check-in procedure though?
You guys
Yes.
with, yes, I think we're okay with
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Would you like official approval?
You have official approval now?
That's what is being made with.
Okay. All in favor of the referral, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. If there is no other business, I would like to adjourn my last meeting.
I make a motion for adjournment.
There a motion?
I'm not gonna say.
Oh, don't do that to me, Mike, don't do that. I need a second, come on.
Second.
Yeah, it's been moved and second to adjourn this, my last meeting as a member of the Richmond Recreation Board. All in favor, say aye. Aye. No one there not opposed. That's what I thought. Motion carries. Thank you.